Hey everyone, Simon here. Today we're going to talk about Chitra Nakshatra, where the sun and the moon happen to be exactly at the time of making this video. And believe it or don't, I did not plan this. I did not plan to have the sun and the moon be right there where the Chitra star is. But before we get into all of this, I want to share something from a previous video, which I did not do uh, in that video, which is the chart of Mr. Michael Jordan. And that's because I did not have my screen share on in that video. So check this out. I'm going to move my image here. So that was the Secrets of Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Watch that video. You'll see that I talked about the placement of the star Antares at 16 degrees Scorpio and how Michael Jordan's moon is there. Wow, okay. But nothing out of the ordinary. The moon goes there once every month, one day a month, or one section of a day a month. It's going to be conjunct that star, couple hours. So if you take a degree on either side, maybe 2, 4, 6 hours out of every month, it's going to be there. What's remarkable about this chart is that there is a mutual exchange, so that Mars, who exchanges signs with Moon in a Parivartana Yoga, goes, in essence, you can put him there as well. He goes to 16 degrees Scorpio as well. So now you have Moon and Mars conjunct at 16 degrees Scorpio, creating a massive Chandra Mangala Yoga, which is a combination for wealth, which happens in the sixth house, which means through conflict, through opponents, becomes a yoga and so forth. So this was the chart. And you can see it also here in the South Indian chart where these two exchange, and they're both on the exact same 16 degrees of their respective signs. So that was from Secrets of Jyeshtha Nakshatra, and I did a little boo-boo where I didn't share the chart. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand today, which is Chitra Nakshatra. And like Jyeshtha Nakshatra, Chitra is a single star. It's a single star nakshatra, meaning that some Vedic asterisms have multiple stars, like the Pleiades have multiple little stars, but Alcyon is the main one. Or if you've seen my other video on Mrigashira Nakshatra, you'll see that there are at least three candidates for what that star is. But for some of these who are single star nakshatras, one brilliant star is the star of the show, if you will. So it's kind of like a movie. Some movies are an ensemble cast, and some movies it's all about Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Or it's all about, whoever the big star is. So Chitra is one of those. And interestingly, it is related. It has some associations with Indra as well, because Indra and Vishwakarman are related. And Vishwakarma or Tvashtri is the deity of this asterism, which we'll talk about in a minute. Oh, look, there's a little satellite going right now. Isn't this cool? But before we get into that, Research 1-4R. Probably spying on us. Before we get into the meanings of that, check out this cool software. This is free, ladies and gentlemen. Go to stellarium-web.org, and you will be able to pull this up for your location. This is from my location, and you can do cool little things like you could take the landscape out, you can add atmosphere. This would be daytime. You can add or remove the constellation art. You can add the little sticks that combine the constellation stars. I actually don't like the sticks. I like it like this. But the best part is you can move backwards or forwards in time. Check that out. Does that rock your boat or what? If you're an astronomy or astrology buff, this has to be super exciting. Here are the Pleiades, by the way. This is Kritika Nakshatra. Okay. This definitely rocks your boat if you are anything like me. So let's see, let's keep moving forward in time. And you see, we've talked about in previous videos, we've talked about some of these asterisks. We've talked about secrets of Kritika, secrets of Rohini Nakshatra, then secrets of Mrigashiras, which we have here, possibly Meisa. They don't, I got to probably zoom in here to see this one. We have El Nat was one of the candidates. Capella, I also made a compelling case for, hopefully. So yeah, you can take a little journey through the heavens based on your location using this software. So now let's get back to the topic at hand, which is Chitra Nakshatra. And you see Chitra is actually, see Spica is the star Spica right where the sun is at this moment. And so what are some qualities of Chitra Nakshatra? Well, I just looked in the mirror and I saw a tiger back here. So tiger is the yoni, another interesting coincidence here. Tiger is the yoni of this nakshatra, but that's not the main thrust. You don't read the nakshatras based on their yonis. You read them based on their deities and based on their shakti. The shakti of Chitra Nakshatra is Punya Chayani Shakti, the power to accumulate merit. So what does that mean? Well, one of the little secrets of this is that whatever planet you have in this nakshatra probably is coming in with some past lifetime of Purva Punya. So if you have the moon in Chitra Nakshatra, something about your mom is going to be beneficial to you. If you have Mars in Chitra Nakshatra, you probably have some sports background, or you were an army general, or you have that kind of, like, you've done those things before. If you have the sun in Chitra Nakshatra, you've been a leader before. You have management skills, organizational skills, the ability to be an architect, to organize things in the world. There's a talent for that. If you have Mercury in Chitra Nakshatra, a talent for communicating. If you have Venus in Chitra Nakshatra, super duper, especially in Libra, so in the Libra part of Chitra, then there are a lot of things we could say about that, but one of them is, a talent for being an object of desire for others and creating things that are objects of desire. So these people actually like their privacy. So if you have Venus in the Libra part of Chitra, one of the qualities of Chitra is a strong desire for privacy, for exclusivity. They want, the gate in front of the house and then a gate around the neighborhood. They want to be exclusive. This is also the first class nakshatra, because the story of Chitra is that the Ribu brothers are also associated with the star. They are human, but they want to become divine. And so, like Ashwini Nakshatra, the deities, if you will, the participants of the story of this myth are humans who want to go to heaven. They want to achieve something great. But to go to heaven, you need to accumulate merit. So hence, Punya Chayani Shakti is not only merit accumulated from a past life, but in this life, you're going to do things according to dharma to accumulate good karma so that you can go to a better place. Now, that doesn't just mean after you die. It also means within this lifetime, the Chitra people like VIP groups. They like to be treated nicely. They like, to fly first class or at least business class. Even though they may not be able to, they aspire to that because they want to be in heaven. And as some of the stories go, the gods don't like the smell of humans. And so the gods say, Go over there. Go sit over there. But the Ribus are such powerful creators that through the beauty of their creation, and they fashion a lot of beautiful things, even eventually creating cups to hold soma, the nectar of immortality, for the gods to drink, that the sun god finally gives them access, and he says, come, you can sit with me. So they get welcomed into heaven. They achieve the goal, much like it is the goal of Mrigashira Nakshatra to achieve the soma. Likewise, it's the goal of this nakshatra to achieve heaven. Same thing with Ashwini Nakshatra, the sort of half god, half human twins who are the son of Tvashtri. So the Ashwini Kumaras in one of the stories, in one of the main lines of story, are the sons of Tvashtri, and the daughter of Tvashtri is Rohini, or Vishvakarma. So, I mean, the stories get discombobulated, but the idea here is that Chitra people aspire to greatness. They aspire to be part of the ruling class, not the ruling class, but part of the club. Whereas Jyeshta people, they also aspire to that, but they know they are the ruling class. So Jyeshta is ruled by Indra, who's the king of the gods. Tvashtri is also a god, but the co-ruler of this nakshatra are called the Ribu brothers, and they are the incredible fashioners of all beautiful things. So let's dig into this a little bit. So, all right, what does this mean? It means that, for the one thing, beautiful things that have function, like a screen door or a house or a palace, are designed to keep other people out, to keep some people in and some people out. So again, I talked about privacy and exclusivity. It is a big theme for this nakshatra. Another big theme is that if you have planets in Chitra, you may benefit from wearing the stones related to those planets. So if you have the moon in Chitra, maybe wearing a pearl or some kind of white stone may be good for you. If you have the sun, maybe wearing a ruby may be good for you. Things, especially if those planets also rule good houses. The biggest thing about Chitra that interests me is that they take something that already exists, a tradition, and they make it current for their time. This is the big thing. They'll take something that worked before, and they'll say, look, here I can build a better mousetrap. I can make this work for our current era. That used to be good for their age, but for our age, look at what I can make. So they're innovators. So Chitra people are always on the cutting edge, innovating, and creating a better way to do things. Now, because of this powerful creativity with Chitra, you have, obviously, if, say, someone asks a question, will I ever have a child? And the rising nakshatra is Chitra, you close your eyes and you predict, yes, that'll be $50, please. Thank you. Thank you, come again, right? Or if the Lord of the Ascendant is conjunct this star. Now, what do I mean by conjunct? I mean in a prashna, 2.5 degrees on either side. In a natal chart, you want to be as close as possible within, well, also, let's say 2.5 degrees. Let's make that our, there really is no exact, like, oh, if it's 3 degrees, it's too far. But 2.5 degrees is, I think, a decent on either side. So if the ruler of the ascendant is conjunct this star, close your eyes and predict blindly, yes, you will have a child. If the fifth lord is conjunct this star, even if it's somewhere undesirable, close your eyes, predict blindly, yes, you will have a child. Why? Because some nakshatras, are strongly related to productivity. Rohini Nakshatra, procreation. Chitra Nakshatra, procreation. Mula Nakshatra, also, believe it or not. Punarvasu Nakshatra, because Aditi, the mother of the gods, is the deity, and so forth. So some nakshatras are very productive. The Palguni nakshatras, right? Purva Palguni, Uttara Palguni, they're also productive nakshatras. Purvashada is also, because it's appas, it's procreative. So, but not all of them have these powerful marker stars. So Chitra has Spica. So if, like today, you have the sun and the moon there, and someone asks you, hey, am I going to have a baby? And let's say Leo is rising, and so the Lagna Lord is there, or Aries is rising, and so the fifth Lord, the sun, is there. So you just close your eyes and say yes. And then your task will be to predict when it's going to happen. That's a whole nother thing. But in terms of giving fruitful results, Chitra Nakshatra is highly desirable, even for acts of war, because Indra slayed the demon Vritra during, which was associated with this nakshatra. So, so overall, this is an auspicious star. It relates to being the star of the show. A Chitra person, again, you can't have more than one Yogatara for this nakshatra because it defeats the purpose. It's like having two Yogataras for Jyeshta or for Rohini. No, Rohini is special, so there can only be one. Jyeshta is the top, the king. There can be only one, the eldest, by definition, the best. And so Chitra, likewise, is the only one. So Chitra people shine, but they're often very different publicly than they are privately. A little bit like Kritika Nakshatra, which has two faces, but this one even more. That Chitra people tend to be a little bit shy in public, but in private they're more kind of playful, sensual, and so forth. So there is a public-private kind of sometimes attention, especially if this nakshatra is afflicted. So anyway, if you want to find out more about these nakshatras, go to nakshatrasecrets.com. That site is actually going to go down very soon here, end of this month. And so the $147 price you will not be able to get. In fact, it'll only be available on my Podia site, which is right here. I'll show it to you guys, and it will be twice the price. So if, let's see, you can see all of my classes here. So this will be $297. There is a coupon on my site, but still it'll be, even with the coupon, a lot more than you can get it for now, but you got to act fast, and you'll get all 9 videos describing 27 nakshatras with more handouts than you can ever memorize. So, but really, really nicely done. This is just the beginning. This handout is the notes. You'll also get nakshatra spreadsheets, and a lot more. So, and there's some couple bonus classes there as well for you. So go to nakshatrasecrets.com. Let me show you that site, and just click an order, and you'll get the course delivered. Usually takes an hour or two. This is a very simple site. Boom, boom, and you're in. So yeah, so if you want more info, definitely check out the course. If you're interested in other courses of mine, particularly related to Parashara, to Vedic astrology, the Power Planet Combos is probably my favorite course I've done this year. It includes this, by the way, so you don't have to get this. These are included in the Power Planet. It's the most expensive, but it's worth it. That's all I can say. It's what you learn here, you will apply for the rest of your life in Vedic astrology. It's Anyway, it's changed the way I look at charts forever, um, based on the power planet combos. Anyway, okay, 1 minute infomercial is done, but I do have to make you aware of these things. Let's go back to our stellarium. Take a look at where Spica is in the sky. As you can see, well, as you probably can't see because the sun is right there, but Spica is right on the ecliptic. And when planets come close to it, like Venus will be close to it, wow, watch out. If you want to plan a date, a first date, or a fun time, or let's say you make video games and you want to like release your video game, do it when Venus is exactly on Spica. Do it when, because it's fun. It's your thing, your product will become a brilliant jewel. Go on that first date or propose or have your first kiss when Venus is right on Spica. You'll see, you'll thank me later. What Spica is not good for, and I've tested this, is sporting events, meaning if it's rising, because it's a soft kind of, it's a soft nakshatra, it's soft nakshatras, like, you know, they're soft, they're they like relaxing, and so that team is not going to perform as powerfully as they would if they had a hard nakshatra rising. So I don't find this nakshatra good for sports at all. Like, other factors can overrule this, but I haven't found it to be useful. So people say, oh, Spica is auspicious for everything. It's not auspicious for everything. It's not auspicious for sports. So now, if you have it somewhere in your chart and you're an athlete and you want to be a famous athlete, yeah, it's great. But I mean, if your team is playing and Chitra is rising and you're the favorite, it's not going to go as well as you hope for. All right. So those are some things. These are just, you know, skimming kind of the tip of the iceberg. But if you want to go deeper, like I said, check out Nakshatra Secrets. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat. I do read the chats. I do, and I try to answer. Or since recently, I've tried to. And yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, everyone. Namaste.